So I've already moisturised using my Elizabeth Arden moisturiser, and I used an under eye elixir. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation, and I also forgot to show you that I did in fact prime before I started this, but you know, I forgot. You don't have to use any foundation if you've got really good skin. I've just got a lot of freckles to hide. And I'm picking up a gold face paint. This one is from Smiffys, and I'm just going to put this in my usual contour areas. You can't really tell that much on camera, but it just gives your skin a gorgeous gold glow. Now I'm taking my Technics cream contour palette. You just need to find a shade that's lighter than your own skin tone, which is quite hard for me because I'm looking rather pasty these days. And you need to use a really thin brush. This one is the Real Techniques fine detail brush, I think it's called. And you're just going to want to start drawing hexagonal shapes, almost to form like a honeycomb shape. And it's up to you where you put them, how high you want to go with it. Just let your creativity run free. And if you make a mistake, you should just be able to kind of wipe it and it disappears. If I'm sounding really quiet doing this talk over, my kiddie winks are all in bed and it's late at night, so trying to be shush. So I'm going to grab the Makeup Revolution Salted Caramel palette, and I'm going to pick up a medium toned brown eyeshadow. I'm just going to start outlining on a couple of the sides of the honeycomb shapes. This is just going to create some shadow, which will make it look a little bit more realistic. I am also kind of half blending this as I'm putting it in as well. Then I'm going to go back into a darker brown with a really thin, tiny eyeliner brush, and I'm going to go over the same kind of area, but this time I'm not going to blend it. This is going to add even more shadow and kind of 3D-ness to the honeycomb. Now I've just taken some white face paint from Snazaroo, and I'm going on the opposite side of the honeycomb shape just to give it a little bit of a light bounce in there. And then if you wanted to, you can go ahead and outline some of the edges. So now it's time to move on to the eyes. I'm just going to start by priming my lids. This is the NYC eye primer. You definitely need to use something because you're going to be doing a lot of shadows and you want them to kind of stay, especially if you're going out to a party. So definitely apply primer. And then I like to set my primer. Sometimes I'll use face powder and other times I'll just pick up a kind of bone colour. So I'm staying in the Salted Caramel palette and picking up this kind of rusty brown, and I'm just going to start mapping out where I want my cut crease to be. So you start off light first and then you can start building up the colour, and then I'm going to blend this almost all the way up to my eyebrow. I couldn't decide here whether to go for a light brown or just go ahead with a dark brown. If you're not that confident, then you can do another layer of a light brown and then move to a darker brown, but you're just going to want to start going it in the same area that you did with the rusty colour, but you're not going to be blending it up as far, so you're going to start deepening that crease a little bit more and adding that kind of cut crease look. Then I'm going back to the original brush that we was using and just kind of softening that line a little bit, but I won't be blending it up, like I said, as far as I did with the rusty colour. And then when you're happy and ready, you can move on to the black. Definitely tap that bad boy off because there'll be a lot of fallout. And now you want to really be precise and go directly into your crease. And you are going to be blending it out, but not that much. So you kind of want this line to be, you know, sharp and where you want it. And you could go back with the brush again and just gently kind of blend this out, just to kind of remove any harsh lines that are there, so it's more kind of nice and flowy, but you don't want to get rid of the black colour, if that makes any sense. I don't know what I'm saying. And you just keep going backwards and forwards. Sometimes when I do tutorials it looks like I do one eye and then move to the other one, but I just switch from one eye to the other, to the other, to the other. I just cut most of that out most of the time. So this is the part where I always take a deep breath and say a little prayer. Just taking a white face paint, and I'm going to fill in my lid space that we left, and you want to try and make it precise where you had your black line. And then also I'm going to flick it out on the edges just to create like a second wing. So I'm going to take my Jazooli palette and I'm just looking for a really bright yellow. This bit's really easy because all you're going to do is go over the white face paint. And I'm just complaining because I've got a hooded eye on that side, and obviously where I've opened my eye there's white face paint has gone on the top of my eyelid. But that's okay, we'll sort it out later. So you just fill in all the white area in yellow. So I'm just going to take some liquid liner. This one is the Scandal Eyes Precision Liner. I'm just going to draw on a really thin line as close to my lash line as I can. And then when it came to the wing, I could not decide whether to do a long wing under the yellow or whether to keep it short. I'm really bad at making decisions, so in the end I went with like a baby-sized wing. But if you're not going to wear any false lashes, then you don't have to do this part. So then I've done a quick coat of mascara and then I added on my lashes. There's something about wearing lashes that just make me dance. I'm sorry. So I'm going back to the rusty colour that we originally started with in our crease, and I'm just running this under my lower lash line. And then I'm going back to the gold Smiffys face paint and just adding this as an inner corner highlight, and then adding some mascara onto my lower lashes. So I was going to do like a black lipstick with this look, but I decided to try this out, so I went back into the gold face paint and just applied this over my lips. And then I took the matte brown shadow and just kind of shaded the edges in a little. And then I also took I think it was like a brown, I think it was an eyebrow pencil, and I just kind of outlined my lips with it. Then I came across this picture on Pinterest of this kind of queen bee, and I really liked her black choker, so I decided I'd recreate that on my look. It was actually really easy. I just drew an oval on my neck with two lines coming off to look like the choker, and then just filled in lines and shaded it in with a little bit of face paint, but mostly black eyeshadow. It was really quick and really easy. Clearly I was in a DIY mood because I also decided to make the antennas. I just took a cellophane ball and a straw, which you can pick up at any craft store, and then just painted them black and then attached them onto a headband. And then you can just fold them forward and they'll kind of flop over like a bee's antennas. Before I go, I just want to say a massive thank you for all the lovely comments that I've had on my videos lately. So please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And also don't forget, if you share this on any social media, make sure you @ me so I can follow you back. And then one last thing before you go, make sure that you have already caught up with my previous videos, the sexy wolf, and I've done a colourful skull, and I've also done like a voodoo doll, so you should definitely go check those out. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next week. Bye!